This is why, when you study one manuscript and another, in prehistory, something will say, well, it happened around here, well, this happened around here, and this happened around here. How does it all fit? It's not going to fit to the logical mind, because events would ripple out, and people would remember and know events because they were not separated from them. Even though in their now they might be completely safe, sitting around a campfire, say 500 years ago in North America. And yet the stories of their ancestors, they could drum by the fire, they would be, let's say, tuned into nature. There was no Wi-Fi's and things of this nature 500 years ago, do you understand? So they could literally hear the voices of the ancestors, and some could see the story, the waves coming. Do you understand? So these things were carried about and brought forward, but no one, quote, knew when they happened. They happened in their now, or in the expanded now of being able to move outside of a current space and into and viewing a traumatic history. This traumatic history that has come down on the planet from all kinds of shifts and changes has certainly contributed to shattering the human psyche. But we also remind you that the traumatized psyche also can become more psychic. It's a double-edged sword. What else, Dave?
I guess you spoke of the. Yeah, I did notice when this thing got started back up again, it seems like things started going off all over.
All over, just boom, boom, boom.
Are they
boom,
doing
boom.
it on purpose, or is it a side effect? Or what are they doing? What is the purpose of this thing, I guess?
They're playing with time.
Okay.
And they're wanting to, let's say, explore the power of creation. And they're saying to you quite simply they want to create the Big Bang by accelerating particles moving in one direction and then moving them in another to a super, let's say, state and then colliding. And the conjecture is that this will create the Big Bang effect as to how the multiverse was born. That's just part of propaganda and advertisement. They have to tell the world something. Do you understand?
Yeah, so what are they doing?
They're attempting to step into time, to time travel.
To change the future or the past?
To explore. You notice the space program has been shut down. It's not needed any longer. In certain terms. In certain terms from certain places. The CERN accelerator will open a new frontier of travel. And we did say last year that in the year 2010 you would see shocking acceleration in new technological wonders and in revealing of what can be done. The problem with all of this is that the technology has been given for various sundry trades, and the people who run the technology do not have the wisdom to understand at all what they are doing. It is too dangerous. So there will be only a small window on this. It eventually will be closed
So this will
down.
start triggering earthquakes and stuff, and then it'll take a life of its own? Is that what
It does
you're
not
saying?
necessarily mean it's triggering earthquakes. It's, in other words, as these people go into time, first of all, where will they be going? There are a few studies that want to go into space, to go to see the homelands of those who have come here. And there are those who want to go into the past, and one of the areas in the past that is being explored quite extensively now is the Middle East, where you are revving and amping up more and more soldiers, firepower, etc. There are many pots there are many fingers in the pot, and there's not a lot of agreement yet there on what the agendas are. There are overseers, of course, behind the scenes or even on site. There would be what you would call others who would be helping to maintain the running of the technology and directing where things are going.
Speaking of ETs.
Yes. It's extraordinary, do you understand?
Yes.
And the energy is being used to fuel substations. That's the best way to describe it. You have the large collider, and then there are substations off of it where the energy is sent into these substations, and it is there that the experiments on time travel, time exploration are being carried out. There's a lot of concern around the planet for this activity and the secrecy around it. So there's a lot of unrest from one country to another. Some places are still quite simplistic. They want to just increase their gross product and get some loans and things of this nature. Countries are quite simplistic in what's going on, and other countries are pulling the wool like crazy over them because they can jump into the future, see whether it is a good bet or not. Now, speaking of bets, you had a big discussion earlier about Goldman and Greece and all these financial complications that are occurring. And the basic lots of it is based on the so-called gambling, the derivative market. If you can get someone to bet for something and get something and bet against failure. Do you realize the insight that these people are gaining very quickly as to how to play the props? Now, part of their problem is this. They assume that because they dial up a date, they get that date. And they are, again, aware of multidimensionality. And so even though they can see and locate various probable existences, it is still speculation as to which one will be fueled by people. So when one looks into the future, for example, and jumps in and says, all right, we want to look at this particular area to see if it's going to be viable in the future, this coastal area. Will people still be dwelling there? The water's clean or the water's risen, lowered, whatever. They may be able to explore many probabilities that show them a variety of scenarios. And yet the potential scenarios are endless, so that one cannot explore them all. And they have ways of, quote, rating these probabilities, just as you rate securities, yes? But the rating of these probabilities is also dicey because it is also based on pure speculation. Because these times are so unpredictable, exciting, thrilling, and enormously energizing. Because everything happens so fast, so quickly, no one can truly predict. We can say, all right, this and this and this, and you're going to have some tumultuous events, but we cannot see where necessarily and exactly how they are going to play out. That is up to the people's spontaneity in every moment. Someone could wake up today and say, I'm really going to do this today, and go out and create all kinds of havoc. The same person, another probability, could wake up and say, honey, I know we're broke, we're a year behind on the mortgage, but I had a dream last night. And it's changed me. Do you understand how many factors are involved for every person? So, they are attempting to steer things. They are attempting to steer you towards certain probabilities by creating parameters around them, and those parameters are delivered to you by the media. Remember the power of images, the power of pictures. Make your own pictures. Do you understand? Make your own pictures.
Pete?
Yes.
That's a really good analogy you just gave. That
Thank you.
Just like the people that have bet against, that are bet on failure, right? This is kind of like the bigger issue.
Much bigger.
That the
Much
world
bigger.
order or whoever is betting on that people will fail.
They are betting that they can herd you into certain probable futures.
Exactly.